Here I am working on my Dynaco projects. This one's waiting in the wings to get refurbished. I've done these Dynaco A25s. This 120 has been completely rebuilt with Update My Dynaco. Just using a little tube preamp with it right now. And the next project I had on the go was this Stereo 120. So I had ordered a recap kit for the PC36 board that you see right there, and changed out all the semiconductors, and lo and behold, I got it all buttoned together with the exception of the filter caps. I had those on order, and with the last one I had the specs for the caps that I was going to replace these with, and then I ordered them instead of going through the Update My Dynaco, which costs a fortune to get stuff through the United States shipped here to Canada. I used the voltage and the capacitance values from the previous one that I had done, and thought I ordered the right capacitors to replace these, and this is what I got. I got these. I've never seen a capacitor with that many terminals before. So the one I used before was a 80 volt 22,000 microfarad, and so I ordered it and didn't look too terribly close at it, and holy crap, I get this. So I don't know if these are all bridged together or whether I can still use that as a replacement, or these are probably completely different and not suitable for the task. So anybody that knows anything about this type of a capacitor, please let me know. Anyway, on to the story here. After I did the change out of all the capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, and obviously some other types, I also did the semiconductors. And when I swapped out the semiconductors and did everything, I buttoned it all together, and as per normal, when I change out so many electronics on a board and everything, I used a Variac to dial up the voltage in conjunction with my dim bulb tester over there. And lo and behold, I started dialing up the voltage, and I started getting smoke. But what was weird about it was I couldn't actually tell where the smoke was coming from. It was just kind of magically appearing over top the board. Couldn't tell which components were frying. Luckily, I was dialing it up very slowly, so as soon as the smoke appeared, I'd turn it off and, dial it back. Did that cycle a few times, still couldn't figure it out, and then finally, just actually yesterday, I started to notice that, yes, indeed, there was, after so many cycles, I was getting a discoloration of one of the, actually two of the resistors. One is right there. You can actually see if it, it's hunting a bit. You can see where it's sort of burned out in color. It's burning the board a little bit. Still functioning. It's a 10 ohm resistor, and it's measuring about 5.5 ohms right now. And then that's our 123, I think it is, and then 126 likewise on the other board. And those are the shorting resistors, or not shorting resistors. They go to ground. The intercept to ground on these Q110 and Q109 transistors that are on this heatsink here. So what I did was I thought, well, there's got to be a short. Trying to figure out where it was. So I thought, and then I found an actual post in the Hi-Fi Engine forum about biasing the Stereo 150 amplifier here. That one fellow was having an issue where he was getting some grounding issues between the collector and the base, and that is indeed what happened. I took my multimeter, did a continuity check, and sure enough, I was getting a short from the base to the collector on both these transistors, which was frying those resistors. So what I did was I swapped them out, and I noted that the collars that are used to insulate the transistor from the I believe the heatsink were somehow causing the short. So what I did was I pulled the board off, or the heatsink off on this side, and then dialed up the voltage, and lo and behold, I had no more smoke, and I was able to get the bulbs. Before, I wasn't even getting these bulbs dim, the power bulbs on the amplifier before I was seeing smoke on the PC36 board here on the right side, on this side here. So what I did was I pulled that, and then I instead of using the metal bolts, and you can see these are the insulator rings that I think were failing. These were actually a different color than the ones that are on the left channel, which were black colored insulator rings for the heatsink board. So what I did was I pulled those, and I had this kit here with nylon screws. So instead of trying to source one of those, I just used black nylon screws that you can see to screw the heatsink onto the transistors. Now I'm hoping I didn't fry those transistors in the process. I'm thinking not, because I didn't get a lot of high voltage to them. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out. I've got a resistor kit down there somewhere. I'm going to swap out the two bad 50 ohm or 10 ohm resistors, and then see where we go from there. But I think I've got it nicked. I just got to, determine whether these transistors are bad or not. So I'll change those out here real quick, and then I've actually had my soldering gun on ready to do that, but I thought I'd make a video instead. So those are my issues. I think I've sorted out the amplifier problem. Whether I have to change out the transistors or not, that's another story. And then of course I would like to know what is going down with these weirdo capacitors. As you can tell, I'm not an electrician, just a hobbyist, but I've done lots of these amps and stuff like that. So anyway, if anybody can let me know, that would be great. Thank you.